Okay, this is my cool fucking I'm gonna take that again. This is my sketchbook tool. I'm holding it kind of funny. This is really, you can't see me right now, my arms are fully extended and I'm recording like the thing right in front of my face, but it's the best way to work. I've got some drawings that are like upside down, so I'm gonna keep having to turn it around. So this is the best way, I think. So let's just go. This sketchbook my friend got it me as a gift. Put some stickers on it, and I got this way back. It was like one of the last days of June 2025, and I finished it midway through February 2026. And yeah, it was really fun working on it. And I've never had one before. I did just like little drawings before and like lined paper. I didn't know. It's like you can see actually. I've got another. This is one for uni, just random fucking shit. There we go. It's little drawings I did. I'd gotten better at this point. This was like actual notes, just doodling. But I used to just draw in books like this exclusively. Like what the fuck. And they weren't very good. And then my friend Emily was like, hey, I'm gonna get you a sketchbook so you don't have to draw on lined paper anymore. And I was like, that's cool. So let's get right into it. First page, I was very excited to have a Emily sketchbook. This was the first page, and I was still drawing in pen at the time. I moved on to pencil pretty quick after this, but it was a lot of confidence, I guess, going in pen because you can't undo it. But yeah, I did. I guess I'll explain everything as it comes up, and I'll try to, because I did a lot of references. Basically, pretty much everything I draw is based off reference. So I'll try and point out where I got it from, as well as definitely if it's someone else's art that I've copied, I'll try and point that out. But I forgot what her face is. She's Fiona from that show Shameless, which I haven't seen, but I do like this pose she's doing. It's very funny. I'm gonna have to be quicker than this, or this video is gonna be like an hour. Deltarune, that was some Deltarune fan art. I forgot. I don't remember. That was also Deltarune fan art, and I don't remember who did that. If you do know, put it in the comments, please. Super Eye Patch Wolf, because I was watching the Versus Wolves podcast. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, I'm a big fan of that. Princess Bubblegum, some more Deltarune fan art I copied. Mob Psycho, because I was watching that at the time. It was good. Tenna, my guy, my boy. Another Princess Bubblegum. I think this is just like an AnaPajamas character. So there you go. I do actually know that one artist I did reference. Everyone follow AnaPajamas on like Twitter and that. There's more Reagan. This one's alright actually, especially for the time. Like that's a good looking hand for an early drawing. That's a less good one, and that one's fine. I went for some. This is a big swing because of the pose and the angle and stuff. So you can't fault that. Even if it looks kind of odd, at least you're trying. This was Aaron Paul. This is a Jesse Pinkman, and it says, "When I drop my phone, but my fast reflexes slam it into a fucking wall." That's pretty funny. And this is What's a Face from One Punch Man. Check this out. Secret. She's got little like psychic powers and shit. It shows up under UV. That's cool. This is fuck. I do not know that. I think it's Paper Bag Man or Bag Paper Man. They have this clown character that's like really, really good. Massive inspiration for me. I was drawing it all the time before I was really drawing anything. I copied them a lot, so this is a good one. And this drawing fucks me up. Even though I did copy it, I think I did a really good job with this one and the skull. And it was like really good, but it was early on. So every time I wanted to look at my old drawings, I wanted to see if I've improved. And there was this really good one that made it feel like I wasn't improving because it was so early on, but we ball. This is a really shitty early comic I made. There was a friend of mine, Millie, and she was on a story tells these like horror stories about driving in a car. So I did a little comic about her getting lost on the way to Birmingham and ending up in the Mushroom Kingdom. And then they confuse it for Princess Daisy. It's very whimsical, actually. And then I drew them together. It's not very good. And then this Daisy I did copy, but then obviously the reference ended here, so the proportions get all fucked up. So yeah, and that one was like, it looked kind of awful now I'm looking at it, but at the time it was like nice and it's cute. It's like a nice idea. Millie goes to the Mushroom Kingdom type shit. Another Reagan. This one was kind of an important one because I was stitching two references together, like Reagan from Mob Psycho obviously, but then Ryan Gosling in like a promotional thing for The Nice Guys, I think, which I love. And it didn't turn out alright, but if you're doing like one character based off of a completely different reference instead of just drawing the reference straight up, that's, well, you know, again, a big swing, kind of. I mean, it's a small swing, but, you know, little steps in improvement. This is Saul Goodman from Solia. And I think his neck continues here, and I tried to shade it, but it looks like his neck ends there, and it's really thin. Again, it's like not very good looking, but a big swing if you think about the angle and the anatomy and the style and the dynamics and all that. That's What's a Face. That's another Mob Psycho character. That's covered. This is a really good one, especially early on. I was very proud of this. I remember I was drawing this one. I did one hand, and then I took a picture of it in case I fucked up the other hand. And then I drew the other hand, and it turned out alright. And I love Fujimoto because his style is really nice, and this is like kind of a direct copy. His style's really nice, but it's also, the proportions are kind of realistic, which is cool to practice. And then this is my stepdad. I was just hanging around the kitchen, and I just drew my stepdad. And this is an early example of me trying to do perspective, and I think it's not bad. He looks fucking hilarious, but that's what. This is like the awesome goth girl from Ocarina of Time. And then this, not a super good a bad drawing, but that's Harrow Bones. She's on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. She's a cool content creator, and I think she's really awesome. And I drew her a bunch because she's very pretty, and I watch her a lot, so, you know, it makes sense. This is Asa Mitaka fucking fan, and this is, again, I referenced someone else's fan art, and I don't remember their name, but I can tell you this is from the Lily Allen Smile TikTok, so do with that what you will, look that up. And then this, okay, first of all, you've got Reagan, and this one, I'm in two minds about it. On the one hand, like, the jacket is way too big for the rest of his body. It looks kind of off, but on the other hand, it is a cool dynamic, and his hand looks fucked up. It is a cool dynamic pose, and the head on the collar looks really cool. I think this is, again, someone's fan art that I copied. I don't remember. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna say it a lot. I'll just say if it's original, if it is. And then this is like from Pinterest. I saw someone's fan art of Mob and Reagan looking like Jesse and Walt from Breaking Bad. So that's Jesse, Mob. This is gonna take a while to get through. This is this is so shit. My friend Emily, who gave me the sketchbook, that's her, and it's such a horrible drawing. I did one good drawing, and then I cut it out. So you'll never be able to see what she actually looks. So because she gave me this sketchbook, I tried to draw her to like, that's like a nice thing to do, but I could never do it justice because I could never draw her very well. And that's the theme that continues. Some more Reagan. I was very into Mob Psycho at this time. Tried to do some perspective here. I got the diagonal line down, but I think his proportions were meant to get bigger the closer or like higher up he is to sell the perspective. So it's not really perspective. It's just kind of slanted. And then this one is an angle that I did okay, I think. I don't remember if this was a frame from the anime or someone else's fan art, but it's What's a Face from Evangelion, and then her from Mob Psycho again, and then Reagan and Killer Queen. That's cool. It plays around with negative space. So whoever I referenced really did a good job on that one. And then what do I do here? Some fucking psychotic ravings. Sans. This is pretty early because I do a lot of sans later on. So this is some early sans, and they look good. Again, I don't remember who I referenced, but it looks okay. That's Sans Undertale, by the way, if you don't know. It'll come up again. Okay, so I was big into X-Files, tried to draw Scully, and it looked like dog shit. That's one of the girls from Look Back. I forget her name, but that was really cute. Look Back obviously inspired me to draw, and I love Fujimoto, so it's Batman with big shoes. This is not from a Batman reference actually, but from Twitter. There was some like character wearing cape archetype that I just copied. And then I tried to, because the Scully was so bad, and I did not do Gillian Anderson justice. Tried to do it again. Still doesn't look very good, but looks better than the other one at least. And she says, Mulder, can you please log the fuck in? So yeah. Okay, this is just a bunch of little ones. Law from One Piece. Bouncy Clown Girl, I think she's called. Sanji, this specific panel from, I should do this more often. A lot of people, to improve, they just completely replicate manga panels, and I should do more of that because I like manga. I do it a couple times throughout here, but this is one I love from One Piece. Sanji all wide-eyed and cute, talking about the old blue. And then this is Rob Pattinson's Batman. And then this is like a really nice one of Luffy and Sanji. And then this is the dude from Bloodborne, John Bloodborne, and he's saying check it out, but you don't have enough insight to see. But then if you have insight, you can see cool fucking monster. Isn't that sick? That's pretty cool. And then I went on holiday to Europe for like a month, and then I came back, and the first thing I drew was this. You'll probably know who this is. This is like a clear art style that I copied. And I don't remember the name. Please, I will try and find the people I'm referencing when I'm editing this. It's gonna be a lot, but it's the artist who renders these characters. This is the girl from Fear and Hunger, and the artist has a very particular style, the way they do hair, but mainly eyelids, like eyelashes and eyelids. It's a specific way. And drew her, and I drew Norm Macdonald from SNL next to her, and I colored it in with coffee because I hadn't experimented with any kind of color or paint or anything yet. So I just like, I found a brush and like I was drinking coffee like I am right now actually. And yeah, I just, so that's kind of manky actually, but you know, it's fine. Oh fuck me. Some Berserk, we got Guts Berserk and Casca Berserk. And these I was very proud of at the time. They look kind of wonky now, especially this one looks very odd, but she's supposed to look odd. And as I don't really do manga panel recreations, but I think all of these are directly taken from the manga, I think. I was quite proud of them. I like this one, although I think I could do it better now. I should try again. I should try and recreate some of the ones I've done probably. And this one of Casca, I really like that one. And then on this side, we got some more like fun invisible shit. Hey gamers, Mikalash, blah blah blah. It's like the Bloodborne joke, having insight and then drawing things in invisible ink. And yeah, it's... Sorry, I'm gonna have to gatekeep that one. Oh, this is first ever self-portrait. That's me, Sam Bagels. And I did look like that at the time, that's not bad. Head's too small. I'm looking at it now, it looks off. But very good for the time, I think. And then this page, we got this particular frame of Reagan, and that very particular frame of Reagan on sports day. And then, okay, a little Saul here as well. Saul and Mob Psycho style, from Pinterest again. Then someone's character, I don't remember, I'm sorry, some fucking shit drawing, I don't know who that is. Oh, and then this little glasses character who I've seen around on, I think, both Twitter and Instagram. I don't remember who they are. This is the first Noelle Deltarune, and I love Noelle Deltarune. It's a character I like, and it's a character design I really like, so I do her a couple times. Yeah, I think I've done Reagan most so far, but I think I stopped doing him after this point, so... Okay, this page I was really proud of at the time. And then I worked on this one for ages and ages and ages, and I had it folded like this, and so I rubbed off most of what I did here, but it's okay. That's from Mob Psycho again. We got Harrow Pones again. This was like first ever original character, and no reference either. I think maybe I found like some kind of posable 3D model or something to try and get a reference, but that's like an attempt at an original character for the first time. And that's an attempt at Sophie Thatcher for the first time, someone I continue to be obsessed with, low-key. And then, okay, this was the one day I just locked in. I was just drawing every day for a summer. I was just drawing, and the one day I started off small, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm drawing 18 women. So I don't know if it'll focus, but there you go. I don't remember who that is. I think maybe these three were all supposed to be Harrow Poems and they were all shit. That one's Nico Pokey. I think that one's... it might be Nora Fawn, but that's a bad Nora Fawn. It does not do it justice. That's really upsetting. I thought these were better, low-key. But the fact that I did 18 is impressive. That's Nico Pokey again. I don't remember who this is. I think maybe May Dreaming from Twitch. She's good. Ella Purnell. Early Ella Purnell. That's nice. I forgot her name, I'm sorry, but I do know who she is, so I'll add a picture of her. Very cool goth girl, always doing... She does, like, a crazy good Harley Quinn. I'm getting sidetracked. And then that one, maybe another Nora, maybe another Harrow, I don't remember. Can't be that good of a drawing if I don't even know who it is. And that, I don't know who that is either. Husband, We Are Homeless. That's probably the best one in this little selection. And that one, it looks like me, but it's not. It's some other woman. And then that's supposed to be that famous Sophie Thatcher one where she's like doing the Yellow Jackets interview, but it looks kind of shit. That's cool, Basketball Girl or something. And then that's supposed to be another Ella Purnell, I think. And then I think that's Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And then I forgot what I don't know her actual name, but she was called Sorceress Sellen on Twitter for the longest time. She's that really cool lady with awesome eyes. She has like a genetic mutation where one of her pupils is like split in two, like a double yolk or something. But she's awesome. She's really cool. She does a lot of cool cosplay. Oh shit! This is the Awesome Elf fan. I don't know what I was feeling like, because I wasn't doing super good before this, and I did these, and these didn't look. These are all elf fanning, by the way. And then I just locked in. I was just feeling it the 31st of July for some reason, and I just drew this, and it was like the best thing I drew up until this point, and the best thing I drew for a while after this. And I really knocked it out of the park with the shading. Now I'm like, the shading still holds up, that's pretty nice. The proportions at the time I thought were really good. I think this arm is a bit whack. Overall, very nice. Look at that, I got like the creases and shit. Very proud of this one. And I think maybe the success of this one just made me want to keep drawing hot women, because it makes me improve, because you want to do it justice, so you push yourself to get better. That's my theory. And like her face, she has like a nice expression too. And this isn't just being a gooner either. This is actually what the reference looks like, and it's probably one of the more popular references. Anyway, I'll get on from this. So I was feeling myself after this one. I was feeling pretty hyped up because I did a good job, and so I tried to do another like human reference. I drew Lucy Liu for Charlie's Angels, and she just looks very scary. She's like giving you. It is kind of funny though, because I drew these like funny little characterized dynamic pose, and then just like dead stare, and I wrote Charlie's Angels, and that's kind of funny, I guess, but low-key I was just trying to do another good one, and I didn't get as good, but then that means I must have done really good if I couldn't recreate the same magic for a while. So then I just went, I'm just gonna draw a bunch, I'm just gonna draw loads, and I can't tell you the reference for a couple of these. I think that was supposed to be Scully. That's just some cool reference I got on Pinterest, and I'll do that, like get stock images and stuff. This was one of the girls from like someone animated the this is esoteric. Someone animated Dracula Flow into Nosferatu, but like stylized, and that's also from that. I don't remember who this is. This is a cool lady. I don't remember who did that either, but that was a very good reference if I can find that. I think that's supposed to be Sophie Thatcher as well, and I think that's supposed to be Sophie Thatcher as well. Can you focus? It's kind of blurred out a little bit. I think that's the original Star Walker. And Raven from Teen Titans. That's a nice one. Now on this side we got the cool alt / goth girl from Ocarina of Time again. I don't know who this is, but it's not a very good one. Doll from Bloodborne. I tried to do a lot of details, and it kind of just looks messy, and the proportions aren't even that great, but it's fine. And then another Sophie Thatcher. I think it's alright. I could do a lot better. I think the face needs to be more. I think the angle. I think the face would stop here. Instead it carries on, and it kind of defies physics, but you know, whatever. It's alright. And then I think both of these are Ella Purnell, and I haven't really talked about drawing like hands and stuff yet, but because that's something a lot of people struggle with, and I struggle with them a lot. So I think with that in mind, I did a decent job there, because you got to recognize where you did good, you know, and where you need to improve. And yeah, I do like these ones. You always gotta, this is why I often draw lots of things on one page, because if one thing doesn't turn out good, you can do a bunch more and find things that do. That brings us to this page, one of my best, definitely at the time, one of my best pages I did for a while. I drew this little dude, no reference or nothing. I was like, I never draw men, so behold, a man. And then I was like, I never draw objects, I only draw people. So I did like a very, tried to do my best realistic cigarette with shading and lighting and whatever, and I think that did pretty good. This, I think I saw a video or a picture of some lady doing this cool pose, and I was like, that's a good thing to draw, so I did. Free run, this is not someone's fan art, this is just, I remember from the game. I think I was actually playing it as well. This is, sorry, I keep tapping the mic. This is the Sun and Moon Team Skull Grunts, and I really like those characters, they're cute. And then this is the awesome priest girl. I don't know the context or who she is or whatever, but on Pinterest I just kept getting this like awesome priest lady, so I drew her. That's Owen Wilson, wow. And then this is Sorceress Ellen again, and her name isn't actually Sorceress Ellen, but that's what I remember her for. So this is how to checkmate with 2 bishops, what I'm still pretty proud of. It's not like fantastic, but it is funny, and the intention was funny, and I think I succeeded. And I was just like recreating a YouTube thumbnail, but I succeeded. That's the point. You gotta know your victories, man. I'm taking very long to explain these, so I might just make this like an hour-long video. Fuck it. This one, kind of a mess. This one, I was reading this comic, Convict Coliseum, I think it's called. Not to get on a big tangent about it, but I really like that because the whole thing was like pencil drawn, and so I would just like recreate things. So that one was from that. That one was from that. This is just like a bloke. I don't know what reference I did for that. This is like a nice maid girl. I think this is one of the better ones on this page. This is like a really bad Sophie Thatcher. I wish I could do her justice because she's so cool. So don't look at that too bad. That's pretty bad. This one's probably also from Convict Coliseum. This is some awesome. I gotta retry this one because this is a great fucking reference I got from Pinterest. Awesome. She's on Pinterest a lot. Like. Specific goth lady with red hair. And then woof, this one hurts me to look at. Yeesh. It's supposed to be Pam from The Office, and it was again a big swing, so you gotta recognize your big swings, but she has no nose. Why didn't I give her a nose? The noses are hard. I struggle with noses, but then her eyes are too small and they're just very freaky. Just don't look at that. More Pam from The Office because I think she's very cute, and I think that one's okay. Kind of style. It's a hard pose to draw, to be fair. Head's really small. And then that one, the expression is like way too exaggerated, and I could play it off as being stylized, but the rest of it is like normal human proportions, so it just looks very freaky. And then this one, kind of same situation. It's like you clearly went for something and it just looks a bit odd. And then that one just like fucking horrible. Sorry. But whatever, we're moving on. Oh, this is a great page. I really, again, I hit my stride with this one. Drew comedian Keegan Tyndall because I like him. I drew him like 3 times, and I think up until this point this was like the best like human figure drawing I've done, maybe. Still not bad. Definitely the best bloke I've drawn up until this point. And then Megan Bitchell, who I love, she's fantastic. I watch her podcast, the Yay podcast, everyone watch that. And this is another little Ella Pennella just snuck in. Who's this? This is Sorceress Ellen again. Again, not a name, but what I know her as. That's a nice one. And then Ash Baby, he's great. And then Stav, because I was like, I like drawing cute girls, so I'm going to expand my horizons and draw. This is so mean. I'm going to draw like an ugly bloke. And Stav's charming in his own way, obviously. He knows that. Don't tell him I said he was ugly. But it was like obviously a far cry from what I was drawing up until now, so it was nice to get some variety in that. And again, in its own way, I think this is like a pretty good drawing. So yeah, good page. I really like that one. And then this is my first completely non-reference page, and I make a big deal about, or I did make a big deal about, using reference, not using reference, because I got it in my head that you're only as good as what you do without references, which isn't true, because I think most like famous artists do, like most classical painters use references and stuff. So it's more just a fun exercise to every once in a while just try something without any reference. And this character's kind of nice for not basing it off of anything. Tired looking bloke. I always default to that when I don't have anything to base off of, which there's something in me. It's like draw a very sick looking man. And I think I'm trying to do my OCs as well. OC. I don't really have any like official drawn out original characters, but I have like ideas in my head. So whenever I do non-reference stuff, I tend to draw them. I think. I don't know who that is or that. That's a little Spider-Man, I guess. This is a nun girl, I think. Interesting. I forgot I did that, but I'll draw more of her later. And this, I forgot who this is, but she's got a cool hat and like weird eyes. Not a. And then the dude hitting the whip and and Solaire, obviously we love Solaire. Little angry girl, whatever. It's fine. Not great, but you know, again, I'm trying something. I'm doing different things, and that's important. Okay, so I've got some colored pencils, I guess. And the first thing I drew was get that weak shit off my track from Speed Racer, which I find very funny. And then Josh Hutcherson. And then Eminem throwing a rat at you, I think that is. Stock image of, again, stock images are great references, guys. If you do art, you're probably better than I am, because I'm just starting out, really. But stock images make for great references. This is a bloke in Crisis. That's the funny Bob gif from Monsters vs. Aliens. This is Sheldon looking very evil. Dynamic pose, very, very scary. And his hand looks fucked up and whatever. That's Serge Tankin. This is the Robert Downey Jr. funny yoga pose. Another Reagan. I think, Reagan on the phone again. I think I tried this exact thing earlier, and I think maybe this is better. Still looks a bit off. I think did his hand pretty good, even though it's just a lot of pencil marks. It's alright. It's not focusing, but that's fine. And then Roger Kefley. And then I watched, what the fuck is he called? You know what he's called. Kamen Rider. I watched Shin Kamen Rider and drew this based off of a behind-the-scenes photo. And that's nice. I don't think it's fantastic, but I think Emily complimented me on that one when I was taking her through this ages ago. Because I need to hurry up. Or maybe I don't. Maybe this is going to be like an hour and a half by the time. Anyway. Just some more funny little ones. Ella Pennell, Josh Hutcherson lunging at you like Foxy. Is that Shaq doing the timeout thing? This is a really badly proportioned like Kevin Hart. Very formal bloke from the memes, you know. Plankton, sad emoji. Oh, and then this, I was like challenging myself to do like dynamic references, and I think this is another one of my better pages from early on. This is Guts. Well, it's like a bloke who looks like Guts with a giant sword. Awesome Ness cosplay, which great dynamic pose, and I think this is like a pretty well done drawing. Bloke with the big walk. Nice. What's he gonna do? Where's he gonna go? Poland? I don't know, maybe. I heard. Awesome lady with her boobs out. And she's got a gun, that's cool. And then I don't remember what this was, but that's like the funny meme, right? And then priest on a skateboard. I don't know, I'm drawn to drawing like religious people. I don't know, that'll come up later. Just don't worry about that. There we go. So this is interesting. So these are my original characters, but they weren't references. These are two characters. The nun one, Caroline, and then this like kind of goth baddie, Lorraine. This is like the first time drawing them really, and I did use references for them, but I stuck my characters over the references instead of just, you know, like instead of drawing it straight up, I would do the base and then change it later. So this was Strawberry Switchblade, the album cover. I copied that, and then this was like a promotional Seinfeld thing. This was originally like Jerry and Elaine, and then I changed it to these two, and again, not fantastic, but one of my better ones for the time, and like I just keep getting better, which is like awesome. And then this is more of the same. This is like original characters. This is a character called Rene, and this is I told you earlier, like the comedian Keegan Tyndall. I just copied him and just made that an original character. There's Rene and Keegan, and his name is It's spelled different though. It's spelled stupid. It's like Kee Gan. It's stupid. And then that's supposed to be like the Gojo pose, but it's not very well done. And that's like the Jake Gyllenhaal sad boy pose, but his hand looks very odd. And then this one actually is good. This is her throwing a big kettle at him. But that's what I'm talking about. The stock images are the way to go for references. Okay, just rapid fire. Oh, that's what she's called. She's called Living Dead Kev. Earlier I drew her, but that's her in a Harley cosplay. I think that's someone's. So this is the controversial Noelle as a human drawing from ages ago. That's May Dreaming. That's Elaine. I drew a lot of Elaine from Seinfeld. I really like her. I forget who that is. That's Kermit, my little guy. He's doing Rainbow Connection. That's Nora Fawn. I draw a lot more of her later. This is a bit from With Nail and I always thought this was like such a nice shot and a dynamic pose, and I think I managed to do it justice a little bit. And this is Cool Bloke action scene falling out of a window. Nice. This is another non-reference zone. I remember being proud of that one at the time, because I drew a guy from behind, which I never really do. And still, it's nice to change it up, because most of the time you just draw a bloke standing straight on with his arms by his side, and he's still very stiff. Yeah. And that's obviously a sleepy guy, because that's what I jump to when I don't know what to do. I have another sleepy guy. This is supposed to be Lorraine from earlier. Not actually a self-portrait, thank you. That's just a sleepy guy, not me though. And that's goth baddie Lorraine again. Oof, that's very suggestive. I'm gonna cut that out because it's like too sexual. I don't know, something was in the air. Anyway, that was Nico Pokey. Anyway, she's fantastic. That's a chopped Sophie Thatcher. I'm so sorry. I wish it was better. This is a cool nurse from like Pinterest or something. That's Elaine. That's Elaine. That's Elaine. Nurse and cowboy. I think this is more original characters, but not very well defined. I just like drawing cowboys. I think not a lot, but it's something. Whenever I get it to be creative, I always end up doing cowboys eventually. Alright, I got to cover one of them because it's like too suggestive and like embarrassing, but these are Nico Pokey, and I think they're alright for the time. She's fantastic. Now everyone's gonna be wondering what it was. It's not like sexual, but it's just like she's a very hot lady and she always has like a boobs out and stuff, and I tried to draw her and I didn't do a very good job and it was embarrassing. Billions Must Live. This is me and my friend Sam. We played Undertale on my YouTube channel, and and we lost a couple episodes, so I thought I'd just make up for the missing footage by drawing them. So I'll skim through those now, because if you want to look at those, you can just watch the episode. But these, I don't know if these even made it to the video, but these are just a couple of, well, this one did, obviously. Billions Must Live, that's a fun one. You can tell I really went all out because I got the crayons out. Oh, this is one of the best pages I did ever. This is fantastic. Very proud of this. The new Digital Circus episode came out, the one with the guns, and I was so inspired by it. I just thought it was sick. I love what they did with Jax. I love what they did with Pomni, and I just drew a bunch of them. So I started here. I drew Jax, drew Ming, voiced by Oni. I love Oni. Jax fucking doming Ragatha. And yeah, this is where, and then this is Bag Paper Man again, I think, or someone's fan art of him. His character, sorry, it's all over the place, and I don't know my references, but not original, I'll tell you. This is just taken from the episode of Digital Circus, and I'm very proud of that one. This is one of my best drawings ever. I don't know, I won't go on about it, but Jack's doing his freaky face change thing. I love that part. And then I was like, wow, one of my best pages, but I got a little bit of space left. Draw Nora Fawn. And I still can't do noses, but I think that one's pretty good otherwise. And then I was like, do dynamic guy jumping with gun, and it's not very, I mean, his hand looks ridiculous, but was fun. You know, the passion was there, and then more. I think this is Bagpaper Man, or yeah. But this clown character anyway. And then another. This is just, I don't know why I drew this because it's just the same as that one but less good. But clearly I was inspired by it, so I like to draw it. So there you go. Get off my fucking case, man. More Pomni. This one's shit based off of someone else's fan art. I think this is shit again. Case of characters just standing with their arms by their side. Not very dynamic. Not very good. This is King. I like this one of Kinga I did. I think that one's pretty accurate to how he looks in the show. And then Sad Pomni. Pomni between two trucks. And then again someone else's fan art. I think that's pretty good for like a semi-realistic one. And then yeah, I'll skim through this shit that's in the Undertale Let's Play. Although I'll talk about it if I'm talking about if it was hard to draw, or I'll talk about my process if you're begging. So I started off doing like just a couple drawings per page. And then as it went on, it turned into like an actual comic, I think. This is us talking about Grimsby Town. Best damn football team in the world. Again, you can watch these. One of the things I should point out is drawing Sans and Papyrus. Papyrus is very hard to draw, and sometimes I would do like actual references for him. Sometimes I would copy like the way other people drew Papyrus. But he always looked kind of the same because of his like skull shape. But Sans is like the most inconsistent ever, like the way I just drew him on a previous page, and the way every time I draw Sans he looks a little bit different, which isn't super good for consistency. But he's a deceptively hard guy to draw, and you probably know this already, but he looks simple. He's not on this page. Well, he looks easy enough to draw, but when you actually try, the proportions are always way off. This one I think was fun. It's the little series that I will capture you. You will be delivered to the capital, and then I made him like do little poses as if like imagining it in a scene, you know. And then he's doing like the I don't know pose. That's me bringing the Pinterest references into the YouTube thing. I said I wouldn't go on about it for too long, but. Oh yeah, then I really just got into the flow and did some of my better pages, and I realized if you're drawing yourself, you can just make your own references. And so I kind of saw the Matrix, and I locked in, and I woke up, and I just started doing loads of references and images of myself, and that one's really good. And I just ended up drawing some great shit, to be honest. A lot of this is when I was doing it like comic style, and I was just prioritizing getting the information across. So there's a lot more information on the page. Sometimes it works better, sometimes it doesn't. So I got these like paint pencils, or like watercolor pencils, I guess. And this is the first time I ever tested them, and that's the best I've ever done with them. So this page is really nice actually, and I cut some pieces out to put in a spliff. But I did a flower and an Among Us and a pumpkin and an egg, and maybe it was like the beginner's look feng shui thing Alan Watts is always talking about, but I just did it without thinking about it, and it's like the best I've ever done with it. Every time after that it's so. Okay, so this is my original characters again, Renee and Keegan, and I did this over this like classic Pinterest breakdancing reference, and that was a really nice one. This is one of my best ones I did for a while. Nora Fawn as Pomni, talk about two obsessions crossing over, you know. It's more Undertale stuff. I think that's supposed to be Elle Fanning, maybe? I don't know. Okay, this was Emily always told us she was gonna dye her hair blue, and she got a blue wig, and she convinced us that she did dye her hair blue. I was so inspired that I drew her with blue hair, and then she was like, "I don't actually have blue hair, guys, haha." Whatever. There's the little Thrasher cat. It's kind of rubbed away, but it's like a cool cat with sunglasses and a t-shirt on. And then cowboy character. And then this is alright. I still never drew with the watercolor pencils as good as I did the first time again, but I do like this one. Even though the colors are mixed kind of muddily together, I think it works for the kind of character it is. And then this one, this actually isn't Sophie Thatcher, even though it kind of looks like her. And she has these big boots, and these aren't too big. They're supposed to look like that. It's not just me really fucking up the proportions. I always do a little bit. I made the head too small, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. And that's like someone's interpretation of human pomni that I copied. And then this is Elaine, because I just had to sneak in Elaine in, you know what I'm talking about. This is, again, I wish I could find all these references. This is someone's drawing of Chris in a dress, I guess. And that was really nice. I was inspired by that one enough to color it in. And then this one, it's not fantastic, but I did it without a reference, and I was very proud that I did. This is, again, the cowboy and the nurse from earlier, remember? Like, kind of original characters, but they don't really have names or a story or anything. And then this is my housemate Archie. Done without reference, just off of vibes, I guess. I drew my housemates like off and on. I think I'll do it more later on when I get better at drawing. Oh god, I'm doing it now. So this is awful. This is supposed to be my housemate Inez, and I mean, it looks so awful. And I couldn't draw the nose, and it made it look like a Minecraft villager, and that's so scary. And then I drew Harrowpones, and that one doesn't look any better. I was having an off day, I guess. And then I drew Millie, and she looks okay. She looks, again, not really flattering, but like not scary like the other ones. And then I did a simple Chris, I know from uni. And then, I don't know who that is. George Costanza, my guy. And then Emily from Stardew Valley. This was a really nice one of George. He's just chilling. And then another one of George from Seinfeld. What's his face? Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle. Kramer. I was very proud of this one at the time. I think it's still okay, but his nose is like flat. But I like that pose. It's like, hey Jerry, you know, like you can, Jerry. What does he say? I don't know. More Undertale. I'll skim past this, but I did like how mainly I was just like speeding through what happens, but sometimes I would just like take a third of a page to show something that happens in like a fraction of a second. I took the time to like draw him like hopping over his stand just to visualize what that might look like, because it doesn't show you that in the game. It just starts the battle, you know. And then anything good on this side? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I did some like interesting framing stuff. Like I'm talking to Sam, and like I'm reaching above the border of the text box. And then this one, You Gotta Be Still. I copied How to Train Your Dragon, that scene, you know. It's kind of cool. And then and then I'm gonna need some dog treats. He's doing like he's like holding a spliff. He's like, Gieras. And then I'm over here like, someone's been smoking dog treats. I definitely posed for this one to get a nice little drawing. And then more Undertale. So this is more of the sans inconsistency, because that one definitely copied from someone's fan art. That one definitely wasn't. Maybe I copied Jack Black for this one to get the stop sign, you know, I'm talking about the classic Jack Black stop sign bit. And then, oh yeah, this is the lesser dog fight. Sam actually died to him, which is funny. I'm like, you should pet it. I'm like trying to hint to him like the thing that happens when you pet it. And I portrayed that by being very serious. Anyway, this one, for this like little side gag, I copied Full Metal Alchemist, which is kind of funny, but also very, very much not, if you remember the dog from Full Metal Alchemist. Just more Undertale again. Some of these I like the reference here from the Stronger Than You Undertale music video thing. But you can go watch, I think it's called Goofy Skeletons, Sam and Sam Play Undertale episode 3. I don't know who that is. This is, I think she's called Amy Lee, lead singer of Evanescence. That one's the album cover, obviously. This is my housemate Lily. She's always in a damn Cars jumper. This is one of the kids from Weapons, I guess. A little Mulder and Scully. I like that one, little simple cartoonish one. Mary Elizabeth Winstead. This is Awesome Girl from Twitter, I guess. I don't know who she is, but she had that cool hat that one time. I'll give you a clue. It was, the date's not on it, but it was probably around like August. Fuck it, whatever. And then this is a Nora Fawn one I did, and I kind of see problems with it when I look at it now, but at the time I was very, very proud of it. I thought this was like one of the best things I ever did. And you know what, it's probably for the best that it's definitely not one of the best things I ever did. I did way, way, way better drawings, and way better drawings of Nora as well, so look forward to them. And then I drew another Harrow Poems, just like a little clown character, kind of freaky looking. It doesn't look too wrong from the reference, but something about it's just kind of, she looks kind of like dead in the eyes, which isn't right. This is a Willem Dafoe reference actually, but I just made the face very simple. It's something I like to do, and I kind of do a little bit more later on. This is the awesome American Psycho guy, you know? More fucking Undertale. Or am I going back? I'm going backwards, which I think means we're over halfway through. Okay, so fucking Persona, that's what's her face, a teacher from Persona. This is a picture of my older brother from when he was little, and then I drew devil horns on him because he was evil, like in a fun way. This is someone's fan art of I can't think. I do like the character, but you know the goth lady, Dr. Lex from Persona 5. I drew her 3 times, but this one is specifically fan art in like the spiky kind of style. It's not specifically the Samurai Jack style, but it's similar to that kind of thing, you know. That's just like a dynamic pose. That's like a cute palmy at an angle. This is what's she called, Creepy-chan. She has a name. It's like Allison something, but yeah, she's just famous on like 4chan and whatever for being very cute, but also kind of freaky. But yeah, nice pose. I'll skip over the Undertale shit for now, I think. Although him stepping out of the frame, that's like a nice little choice. Oh, and here I fucked around with like paint, I guess. This is upside down, but I had some actual paint instead of the watercolor pencils. And I didn't use them much, but I fucked around like trying to get some like colors or whatever. Happy little trees, did some happy little trees. Did this tree, that was pretty good. Well, actually, funny story. I actually drew a man and then painted over it with a tree. Like, and then this was a little horse inspired by a blue horse that Emily painted, and her one was like fantastic. I might show a picture if I have one. And then just blue, I guess, just fucking blue. A little bit more paint. I did a mix. I tried to do Miku, and the sketch is like whatever. It was just there to paint on, and then I drew the paint, and I kept going over it. And when you go over paint, well, at least this kind of paint, you can't get any more lighter because the colors just like mix. So when you go over it, you can only go darker and darker. So her skin ended up getting, and her hair ended up getting like more dark than it should be, but that's probably fine. And then this was, I wanted to recreate the Black MIDI album cover for Hellfire, or at least like an approximation of it. But obviously being an album cover, it was in like a square ratio, and I drew this long. So it's kind of just a mess that vaguely resembles the Hellfire album cover. But I fuck with it, I think it's cool. Especially when the book's closed like this, and you're just like, what are all these crazy fucking patterns, you know? Like, decent. And this is just a mess. I was just like trying to get the right colors for this stuff. And I never messed around with paint again after that. So these are some references. That's some tasteful nudity. They got the boobs out. This is anatomy. Don't worry about it. I was practicing anatomy. It's actually cool. There was this website where they show up a picture, and you can change the settings, but I had it on for 5 minutes. They show up a picture, and it's on for 5 minutes. You draw the best you can in 5 minutes, move on to another one. I did that for like 3 hours. Maybe not 3 hours. I did that for a while, though. Maybe it was 10 minutes. I'm not sure, but I think it definitely helps with anatomy and figure drawing and stuff. I think that one's pretty good. I mean, most of these are alright. That one's pretty good. That one's fine. And then this one, it's just a big naked lady, I guess. But like that's her chin, I think. She's at an angle. That's alright, that looks cool. I'm not gonna get blocked for this, am I? I like this dude, he's like, engage. The days go by, water flowing under. Yeah. And then this page gets better as it went on. First I tried to draw someone's elf character, and it started off okay, but it just got fucked up though. She's supposed to be like knelt down, and her like torso is super long. I mean, if you think about it, her legs are supposed to start like there, but then like, it just looks weird, don't even think about it. And this was supposed to be David Cross, and it kind of resembles David Cross, but just looks very odd, and and weird. And then I did Margaret Qualley. That was like an actually good one. I still think that's alright. Another Ella Pennell, draw her a lot. Another Margaret Qualley, and I think that's also Margaret Qualley, I don't know. But those were pretty good, I think. And then, yes, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 Elaines. I was big into Seinfeld at the time, I guess. Or not even Seinfeld, just Elaine. Or really, anyone in Seinfeld other than Seinfeld. Other than Jerry, he was the worst. But I think this page is interesting because while these different quality, and none of them are like perfect, none of them like are super good, I think they all have things about them that are okay. Like this one, dynamic angle on the head. This one, expression isn't super nice to look at, but at least like, you know, it's a good expression and the hair looks fine. This one, I think, I don't know, again, the angle is kind of cool, I guess. This one it looks weird, but the fingers look at this hand on the table, or like you can imagine there being a table there. There you go. I do like everything from like here on that one. And then this one is probably the best. I think I worked on a face for a long time trying to get it right. I think it's still maybe too small for the head, or like off center for the head, or should we I wish I did this one on a computer so that I could just move them around after I'd drawn them, you know, but there are advantages and disadvantages to both. That's a tiny one that doesn't even count, I guess. That's the one after she drove recklessly in that famous scene. Again, weird looking. These are all weird looking. I wish they were better, but they're fine is the point. They're fine. This is another non-reference zone, and that guy doesn't look very cool at all, but I was just working on this like tired guy character. I always do. And then they're doing like a blast, but they're like stood so stiff it looks shit. It's fine. It's fine. I'm due a really good one, right? Kinda. This is another Harapone. This doesn't look great. This was just some handsome bloke on Pinterest, and then like I added a cool scar there to make it look more like my OC. And then this one's probably the best one I did on this page, just because the pose is cool. And the proportions are good, I think. This was supposed to be Emily based off of a specific reference, but she looks odd, and her eyes aren't right. And I wish I could do it justice, you know. Oh well. And then this is a little exercise I did to fucking torture myself. I just took a mirror selfie. I took 2 mirror selfies and then drew them as they were. And this is a really good exercise because it teaches you both anatomy and perspective. And for those reasons, it's fucking horrible. Look at that. Imagine having to... They turned out okay, but it's fucking so hard to do. I don't know why I had to torture myself like that. But yeah, that was probably one of the best things I drew for a while. More fucking Undertale. But the drawings are getting better, I think. It gets better as well, this one was clearly referenced from Senor Pello's Underpants, but that's fine. I thought this whole thing was going to take me like half an hour. It's taking ages. And then I was just having fun with it. Especially this page. It was like, we make a bunch of sports references. So I do a bunch of sports references. This one, the angle on my chin's pretty cool. And then we become golf guys for a while. And then he becomes a golf guy again. And then that one, this one's weird. I did a reference a specific like basketball thing, but it doesn't look good. So that's the lesson there. It's like sometimes you can copy a reference exactly and it still doesn't look right. So when doing drawings, but specifically when doing like simplified characters, you might want to exaggerate to make the movements come across better, you know, or the actions come across better, I should say. Just more Undertale shit. It's alright. Very inconsistent sounds, as per. And then the cast of Seinfeld. I actually drew Jerry for once. There you go. Almost. He's got an arm missing, but there you go. Elaine looks fucking odd. But that was more so for like the poses of the you know, whatever. The faces are very simplified. And then I drew a bunch of noses for practice because I'm shit at drawing noses. Some of those did turn out alright. And then I drew a bunch of characters without noses, I think. Or I just drew triangles for the noses, but a quick fire, Pam from The Office, she actually is cute this time, but I didn't go crazy on the detail. Oh, my bad. My fault, big bro. I don't know who that is. Some characters, someone's character, or maybe it's Pomni because of the eyelashes. But someone's fucking Twitter thing that I stole. That's another Pomni. This is, I think, Millie again. Living Dead Kev, Nana from Nana, Nana from Nana. I don't know who this is, but she's like awesome, and I got it from a Twitter reference. Another Elaine, believe it or not, and then Nora Fawn, and I really like the way I did the clothes on this one. That was cool. More fucking Undertale. It's like so much speech by this point. I just want to get the episode done, so I do less drawings and more text. At this point, I'm just editing the damn word search. I'm not drawing that whole thing. Oh, that's funny. And then, yeah, again, just loads of text and just like, I just don't finish it. I was kind of burnt out on this, but I was like, I wanted to get it out quickly. Okay, so this is the 29th page of the Undertale comic, so I made myself do a lot, so it's no wonder I burnt out on it. And then I think this is the last thing I did before moving to my new house for 3rd year of uni. And, oh, maybe this. Just this little page just before I left. And it's an unfinished page, actually, but fucking cowboy guy from Pinterest. That's susu.jpg, I believe. That's Willem Dafoe, you can tell by the stupid pose. And that's the, I think this was like a challenge or something. It was going around Twitter, like people drawing this specific reference, but it's also just something that pops up on Pinterest. So this is the first drawing I did after, well, fucking hell. First drawing I did after getting into this new house. And I was really rusty because I didn't draw for like a week, I think. So that's what it looked like when I started drawing. And I just wanted to express that my mouth hurts because I had a wisdom tooth taken out. So I did this very sad, very crude little drawing. And then I did this like funny, weird one, then this like one, and then I did a Pomni to get back into the flow, you know, because I love drawing Pomni. And then Flatwoods Alien. This one I did up because I saw someone did a cool design of the Flatwoods Alien, so I copied it. And then I tried to draw like the realistic Flatwoods Alien, and it's like stylized, so it looked pretty cool actually. And that's Nora Fawn, and it looks okay because again, stylized, very simple. I guess it's just a hand. I don't know if that's connected to anything. But this is what's the face from King of the Hill. I haven't seen King of the Hill, but someone drew that and I copied it. And then this is someone doing Zora's 3-sword style, and I thought that was a good reference, and it was, and it turned out okay, and it was fine. And then that's Frisk from Undertale. This is Millie again. I've drew Millie a couple times. I actually drew Millie a bunch before I started drawing. I would just do it as a one-off and send it to her. She's not even my friend, really. We just have these streaks on Snapchat, but this is the best drawing I ever did of Millie, I think. I think it has a lot of character, and it's nice, and it's not super flattering, but it's not super unflattering, and we like that. And that's one I did at Pomni, and that one's cute, I think. Okay, so this one, this page I was really proud of at the time, and then I looked at it, so whatever. I don't know, this was like some referee, and he was like doing a goal thing. It was like a dwarf referee, what was the reference, I think? Togor, Susie, I don't know who that is, like some character. And then this one, this is clearly like stylized, this is someone's character, and I was like, oh, that looks nice, I'm gonna draw this. And I think I did learn from it for like the eyes, but I didn't really use it much. Someone's drawing of female Buggy from One Piece, and I loved it. I don't know why it's so popular to draw Buggy as a woman, but a bunch of people really just took to it. And I love that they did, because I love fucking clown girls, I guess, and I like One Piece. The One Piece is real. And then this is some shitty fucking, like, I'm not even gonna say still life, because I'm not gonna, it's bad. It's supposed to just be like my desk. And I didn't do a very good job of it, but I guess the corona was detailed enough that people on my story kind of liked it, and I think maybe they were just encouraging me, or maybe they were like, oh, you drew something other than women for once. Oh, and then I went to Toby Carvery and got a bunch of crayons. So this is like, I think whilst I was watching Phantom Thread, I should have paid more attention to Phantom Thread because that's a fantastic movie, but I just did these like little things whilst like half paying attention. That's, oh, a little bit of impressionism I see. Ooh, la-di-da. Yeah, whatever. And then I got back into the zone, tried to draw more regularly. I still hadn't done it much since getting into the new house, and this was already like at the end of September. Especially because over the summer I was just drawing all the time, like every day. So Sandra Oh in a cool pussy shirt. And this, I think this, what's her face from Parks and Rec? Aubrey Plaza reference in the bathtub. Pigeon Girl, I don't know who she is, but she was awesome. Willem Dafoe, this is a nice one of Willem Dafoe. Kinda. His arms could look better, I think, but his face is nice. I think that's a nice level of detail. The simplism detail balance is nice there. And again, for Sandra Oh, it's like it's hard to do faces because like the more detailed you do the eyes, the more it looks like you should give detail to the rest of the face, and it's very hard to do definition and whatever. So you might just want to do like a very not necessarily realistic, but realistic as you can body, and then a simplified face, and then it'll look better, I think. So I kind of took to doing that. But so this was non-reference page, and it was the best one I'd done by far. I don't know, I was just feeling myself, and I watched one battle after another and drew from memory because the film only just came out, and I got to watch it early because I got a friend who works at View, big up Leah, the goat. And so this was like off of memory. I was just so it was off of reference and off of memory, no reference and completely off the dome. And I think it's like whatever. But then I drink a milkshake. That's Daniel Plainview. That's me actually. That's not just a sleepy guy. That's specifically me. Me in my cool jacket doing a cool pose. That's Archie, I think, my housemate. That's Inez, my housemate. That's Jack, my housemate. He's full of CBD. And I love this drawing. I'm really proud of this one. And I definitely was at the time. This is like, I was trying to draw more simple characters, and I was trying to like mix in like real details with like simplified cartoony stuff. And I just like kind of hit the nail on the head with this one, because like his eyes are good, the proportions look good while still like cartoony and simply done. His jacket looks like something he'd actually wear. The pose is good, you know. I was just kind of proud of that one. And yeah, and then I drew Leah. I guess Leah was on my mind because she got me to she got me a ticket to see one battle after another like early. So, and that's like a really nice one I did of no reference. Her eyes are a bit close together, but that's fine. And that's another one of her, I guess. And then this one requires a story. This is again mostly without reference. I think I had reference for this one and the snake maybe, but that's about it. So there was a girl in one of my modules in uni, and I was like not obsessed with her, but kind of like really interested by her because she was highly religious. My coffee's gone cold. Delicious though. She was highly religious, and that's fine. But she would just say interesting things like, I used to be bisexual, but now I'm Christian, and shit, like just gems like that, absolute nuggets of gold. And those stuck in my head, and I went home and I just drew her. It's kind of what she looks like. She was blonde, she had glasses. She was cool. But yeah, she was like, I don't know. She was like, from her perspective, Christianity had saved her, and that's awesome and everything. But like, she was like giving up bits of her personality to match what she thought was expected of her because of Christianity. And then also I drew like Jesus coming down on Judgment Day with his big sword, which is fucking sick. And that's Eve saying, God said I shouldn't eat the apple, and the snake says, come on, it'll be epic. I was feeling like very religious that day. And then that's her, her as a sister of the cloth. That's her saying happy rapture, which I think would look good on a shirt or something. And this is like another really good like cartoony, no reference one. I like the pose and her face and stuff. I used to listen to Van Halen. Now I listen to the Lord's Prayers. Preach. And I think that's like the last non-reference thing I did for a while. Okay, so I drew cool church, and then a bunch of abstract shapes. Jesus on the cross. Okay, I guess it was still in my mind a little bit. And this is supposed to be Leo, but they're very odd, so I just did a bunch of wacky ones. That's me in the My Showroom shirt. Those who know. That's me. I'm drawing some more of me recently, actually, and these are quite nice. I think I did it justice, but I also made myself look kind of happy. This is I never thought about this actually, but whenever I drew myself before, I just looked like a sad, tired little guy, and maybe it's the clown makeup, but but I seem kind of happy in these, right? Aw, what a nice little lad. Aw. And then I drew what's her face, Beth Harmon from Queen's Gambit, because me and Leo watched all of the Queen's Gambit, not in a single sitting, but whilst I was at her house, we just watched the whole show. Okay, this is Stav, more Stav. This one's like kind of horrible looking, but you know, that was like the warm-up, I guess. This one's a little bit better. I think that's like supposed to be Brittany Broski or something that's really bad looking. And then that one, Nana as a cat, is also bad looking, but then I hit my stride. These ones are good. Noelle from Deltarune, you know I like Noelle. This wasn't original. I wish I drew this off the dome, but this is someone's like very nice artistic interpretation of Columbo, and I was very inspired by this one because like he got the proportions all right and he did this like sketchy style, but he gave it kind of a simplified face, and that one inspired me a lot. So I kind of tried to take that in a little bit when I was drawing realistic things. That's George from Seinfeld again, because you know he stays drippy, and that's just cool goth girl from Pinterest, I guess. Just more. So these were references to my housemates: George, Jack, Chris, Archie, Lily, Jay. That's Inez in a cool teddy bear jumper. I don't know. I think these were supposed to be Leah. I was like practicing my cartoony. I think I was practicing like trying to do cartoony and seeing where the line was if you like add too much detail when it starts looking funky, because that doesn't look too good. That's like kind of she looks very determined in that one, I guess. And this is Inez after she comes back from the war. I don't know why, but Inez is like the funniest person to depict in funny situations. So I don't know who that is or what that is, but not very good. This was someone's character, obviously, and I wish I remembered. This is Noelle from Deltarune, and I drew this one first and was like, do another one, and I did just a slightly less good Noelle from Deltarune. This is supposed to be Ella Pennell, and she looks very goofy, and if I pretend I did it on purpose, everyone can have a laugh, but I was going for serious. This is another really cool goth. I think this was, I don't know, if this was based off of someone's drawing, then it looks good. If this was based off of live action, then I did a really good job, I think. I don't remember though. And this is The Long Walk. I guess I watched The Long Walk, and I love that movie. And I loved the guy in it that everyone hates, like the most unlikable character. I just felt really bad for him in a situation, and he just wanted friends. So, Barkovich he's called. So I drew Barkovich and him together, and I took on the Columbo thing, and I drew like the bodies as realistic as I could, but when it came to faces, I did just try to nail the expression without necessarily detail. So if you go for expression over realism, sometimes that can make it look better. Maybe that's you shouldn't be taking advice from me, but that's the lesson I got from it. And this is someone's drawing of Clinical Trial, and I love Clinical Trial. There's a lot of freaky fan art of it, but and I don't remember who did this, sorry, but I do remember it was from it was an AU of them being a babysitter for Lee. So if that means anything to you, then that's what it's from, sorry. I don't know who that is. I'm a very spooky guy from that Northern Lion clip. Well, it's
Don't go. You never went that far. You never went that far.
It's from something else, but I know it from that, and he's reacting to it, and he's singing the song, whatever. Before we address this, this is a cool reference. I actually really think this one's perspective's very good on this one. And then that one, the perspective's great on that one. I'm very proud of that. And then this one, not really like crazy perspective, but like proportions on anatomy. Maybe his head's a bit small, but no, it makes sense for his arms to be big because he's a wrestler. This was just like some cool Japanese wrestler I found. Yeah, and then yeah, so there's this girl. I do know who did this one. This was Zalinki on Twitter, or maybe Blue Sky, but this was Zalinki. I've been a fan of his for years. I used to love his like old animations and shit. And he draws like very appealing women sometimes. And this, I think, for the first time, I was like, oh shit, if you draw people from behind, it's automatically way more interesting and dynamic than if you just draw them facing the camera, you know? And then I drew the moon from Fear and Hunger Termina, and I think it might also be based off someone else's fan art of the moon, so sorry I'm a hack and I'm unoriginal. Oh, sigh. So I missed the page, and I think it's because I creased, I think I ate my dinner off the book and got grease all over it, but anyway. I did another long walk. This is Ray Garrity, Stebbins, is that his name? Oh. And then Barkovich, and these are okay. His arms look weird, but Ray looks good. I think he pretty good job. Sorry, brushed the microphone, threw off my train of thought. This is I forgot who this is. Just reference of a girl with lots of cigs in her mouth. That's very cool. And then this is that awesome lady. You might recognize her. If you do, I've done a good job with the drawing. No? But she's awesome. She looks so cool. She always looks very sleepy, and she's got that cool thing where she like closes her eyes and she looks kind of like I don't even know how to describe it, but she's got lots of moles and that's very pretty and she's very cool. And this one's maybe a bit overcooked because I was working on it for so long. I wanted to get it so right and I like shaded too much. And because she was wearing like black clothes, I was shading it, but then I also wanted to put the shadows on top of the black clothes and like so it looks weird. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it looks okay. Like for the curve, the boob curve. Shout out. Yeah, that one's okay. I think I could do it better. Like again, it's another one where I think because of the angle, I think more of a face wouldn't be showing. Maybe I had a reference to go off of, so there's no excuses really. But yeah, it's fine. It's alright. And then this one's a mess. Sorry, this is a comic I was doing. I had this is so crazy. We had a module where we got to draw a comic, and that's not in my sketchbook because I did it on separate paper, but I did, of course, anytime I'm given a creative situation, I just jump to cowboy. So I had this like story about a cowboy and a pixie together, and it was like episodic adventures was the idea, and the cowboy was called Nick and the pixie was called Peg. And I would do this, I didn't do many in this book I don't think, but I would do little comics to like practice drawing them, I guess, and to practice their dynamic and the characters and stuff. So here she says, hey Nick, can I try some of your drink? And he goes, a bit should be fine, right? And that's, I don't know if that tracks, but that's like a pipette, like he's like drip feeding her one drop of alcohol. And he's like, how is it? And she says, glonky. So that was maybe the first thing I ever drew of them. I don't know. This again, this is someone else's very popular character, or at least this post was popular. I saw it around a bunch. Not mine, not original. Also not mine, not original. This is Himeno from Chainsaw Man. This is Komeni from Chainsaw Man. I was rewatching it. I was watching it with George, and then I drew these, and then I was like, oh, I should draw the hotel because I was stuck in a hotel. It's a bit of perspective practice too, and I think it does look nice, and putting characters within a background immediately makes it better. But with that being said, I should have drawn the background first. I just didn't think to do it until I'd already done them. So she's like way too tall for where she's supposed to be so I do know that she's too big for where she's standing. But if I did it again, I'd do it different. I guess that's me being a cool loner. And this is like practicing Peggy, the character, and when you smile for the camera, because her name is Peg and it's like the Steely Dan song. And I didn't nail down her look for a long time. So I was reading Yotsuba manga, same guy, that same bloke that did Azumanga Daioh, and I kind of like the idea of these eyes, especially because I was still trying to practice more cartoony things every now and then, and I would do that in post-it notes. I mean, can you see over there? I mean, you can't see because it won't focus, but I drew on a lot of post-it notes, little cartoony characters. The sketchbook was more for like proper fucking references, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the point is, I was reading Yotsuba and they do these eyes, and I was inspired by that, so I added them for the character. This is, fuck me, that's just a cover. That's like an interior of a house. I draw so many characters. You can probably count the amount of like buildings and rooms I've drawn on like one hand. That looks good. I mean, stairs are impossible to draw in perspective. They're terrifying to me, but the rest of it was pretty nice, I think. I mean, it looks like it's supposed to look, so I'm pretty proud of that one. Apart from the stairs. This is some cool lady, I forgot who that was, but awesome Pinterest reference, I guess. And again, pose with the back of the camera immediately makes it look better. That's a little life hack. And this one I'm not super proud of. It's supposed to be Billie Piper. Can't really tell that it is her. I think like the proportions are okay, I just don't really like it. It's like, again, the more detailed you get with like the eyes and the nose and the mouth, the more it looks like it's just an empty space around the face, and you can't. So I think if you're gonna go for realism, you're supposed to know how to draw like shading or make the lighting look like it exists. So I'm not very proud of that one, but people did say it was good, and I was like, thank you very much, but yeah, shut up. and then yeah, we were watching Chainsaw Man in preparation for the movie, and the movie came out, and I kind of fell in love with Rize. It's a Japanese name. I do like the character, but I don't know how to say her name. Oh, this is a big one. This is great. So I went to Leah's again. I went to Leah's house, and she loves chess, right? I mean, she made me watch all of Queen's Gambit. Right? She made me unwillingly. We watched Queen's Gambit, and she loves chess. So next time we went, I brought my Switch, and we played chess on my Switch. And so I did a little comic of us playing chess on the Switch. I was kind of in a comic drawing mood, you know. I did the Undertale one over the summer, and then I did a whole module on comics, so I did this little one just depicting it. So that's us playing chess on her bed in her room, and then she's looking up at the ceiling. She's in a Beth Harmon like era, right? She's looking up at the ceiling. She's seeing the chess pieces on the ceiling. If you don't know, that's what happens in Queen's Gambit. She like sees it on the roof, on the damn roof. And then I look, and I'm like, what the hell is she doing? And then I look across the room, and I hallucinate, but I don't see shit on the ceiling. I see Frank from Donnie Darko. And I was very proud of this. And I drew it, and I sent it to Leah, and she was like, that looks great, go over it in pen so it shows up better. And I was really worried too, because I was very proud of it, and I didn't want to fuck it up in pen. But I went over it, and it just made it like the best thing I've ever drawn, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, I'm very proud of that. And I like that Leah liked it. She made it her lock screen, which is very nice of her. And then there's more stuff on this page too. Obviously this is the shit that shows up, but it's kind of faded out. I forgot what she's called, but that lady on Instagram from Appalachia, she's so cute and I like her. And this is my laptop, I guess. Accurate or no? Oh, you can't really tell. It's a bad angle. And then that's me. That's like a mirror selfie, I guess. And then I did buy these pens specifically for this, so I thought I should use them more. So this is Weezo. If this is like a Chainsaw Man Weezo meme, I don't know. This is some lady from it's not Jane from Breaking Bad. It looks kind of like her, but just some lady from Pinterest. This is Emily told me a story about a spider in her room, so I really quickly just like did a mock-up of like how I imagined it. And I think because I did it so, again, Alan Watts Zen Feng Shui, because I did it so quickly, I think it ended up being like looking cool, because I just like locked in. And then this is like a drawing of me. I was still fucked up about my teeth. This was like ages after I got sorry, that's really distracting. I was still fucked up about my teeth. I got that wisdom tooth removed, and another tooth was growing in, and the whole time like fractures of my bone were just like coming out of my gums. It was gross, it was disgusting, and I hate it. I really hope I don't have to get another tooth removed. And this is an ass I drew. This is not just any ass. This is from Fire Punch. You know, I was talking about manga. This is a manga recreation from Chainsaw Man Part 2. Again, to improve and to like, I guess, do a study of someone's style maybe. You just recreate a panel and see how they do it. And I did that for Fire Punch. This is I don't even know if the character has a name, but she's very famous for this panel, I suppose. So yeah, there you go. That one. Let's have another look at this one before you go. Yeah, just very proud of that. I love making things you can be proud of. That's what it's all about, you know. And I'm very critical on myself, but every once in a while you get something good, you know. And this is when I went fucking mental and drew Nora for a bunch of time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 Noras. It was like I suppose you could call it a study, but not really, because it's a study when you do a technique, not when you become obsessive over a person. So I start off with this one, and it's okay. Again, like, the back and the arms is, like, interesting. But I think I kind of come into the zone the more I do. That one's cute. I like face and her eyes. This one, her head's too small, maybe, but I always think that. I'm not sure. And then this one, she was like had some cool makeup on, and like I think I did the veil pretty nice because she's like wearing this very unique like bridal getup. And then this one, I really like this one, and it was difficult because I was drawing her ass, and I was like, nah, that's too like long because it like starts here and it's like doesn't look right. But I locked in and I trusted the process, and I was like, no, that is actually what it looks like in real life. So there you go. And then this one's probably the best one. I like her face. It's again very simple, but like a cute expression, and by shading in, you can't really see her fingers very well, which is good because I didn't do this fantastically. And then the shading on the legs, I think, to show that she's wearing tights. I think that tracks. You can tell that reads as tights, right? And then this one of her face. Not fantastic. I think I redid it like a million times to try and get her. Glasses are hard to draw. I thought they would be easy to draw, they're not. And the nose looks fucked up. I was still struggling with noses. I still do struggle with noses. They're very hard. A hand looks good. You always got to think about things that look good, even in otherwise only okay one. And the hat looks pretty good. And then this is the last one, and that's fine. Overall, I'm pretty proud of it. If you actually slow down and look at all of them, I've got like nitpicky things with all of them, but I do like that page. This is more Peg. I did this just before the comic was due, I think. I was just like drawing lots of her, and I was like watching stuff in preparation for it. I was like, we got this Pixie character, and so I rewatched the original Peter Pan, and I'm so glad I did, because it's like, it's sick. I don't know when the last time you guys watched OG Peter Pan. Okay, it is very racist to Native Americans, but the animation on Tinkerbell is fucking lovely, and like the way they depict her like being really small and the way she interacts with the world and flies her, it's so fucking whimsical and magical, and she gets stuck in the lock like this. I copy that one, and she's fucking hot. They made her so hot. Sorry, this is gonna sound like a weird tirade, but like the animators were horny as fuck for Tinkerbell. They made her thick as shit, and they made a bunch of scenes where she was just being sexy. Anyway, these are like notes for the character. I guess this is kind of like a character sheet, I suppose, like, because most of the time I draw Peg, I draw like cartoony, so this is like a close-up, I suppose. And I did reference Nora Fawn for this one as well. She initially had long hair, then Nick gave her a pixie cut, then it grew out a bit. There you go. So she's a pixie and she got a pixie cut. So that was her long hair. And then Nick gave her a pixie cut. And then it grew out again. And that's the story of her haircut, I guess. And then this is Nick freaking out at the bar with the demon lady. And I never drew her again, and I never put her into the story. I just had the one idea. And he's talking about Peg, and he's like, fuck man, she's so fucking cute. We gotta find a way to either shrink me down or maybe blow her up or something. So, in the story, then it's not like a romantic thing. They're just like friends, I guess. But I was like, I just drew them a bunch, and I became really attached. And I imagine like way down the line, if I imagine the story as like an episodic thing, way down the line, Nick eventually gets like a big crush on Peg, and then really wants to either shrink himself down or blow her up, just so he can get a hug from her, you know, because she's only little, she's too small. And that was like an idea that I thought was like obviously pretty funny, but also very sad, you know, wanting to hug your pixie girlfriend, but she's too damn small. Oh, and this is when I was like, I was going to bed at like 6 in the morning every day, and I was in this fucked up like sleeping schedule, and I and I became obsessed with this video about the lizard, like the lady who has a pet lizard's Instagram account, and I implore you to watch this video, please, and watch the full version too, because it feels real the way she acts it. It's from a big video filled with like skits like that, I suppose. Very surreal though.
I'm so fucking stressed out from running my pet lizard's Instagram account. I'm about to have a nervous breakdown. I told my therapist, she said, we'll take a break from your pet lizard's Instagram account. I said, I can't. It's my sole source of income.
But yeah, she says, I'm so fucking stressed out from running my pet fucking lizard's Instagram account. I told my therapist, she told me I should take a break from your pet lizard's Instagram account. I said, I can't. It's my sole source of income. And most of these are really freaky looking. I think I'm trying to get the balance between cartoony and realistic and not really thinking about where I want to land. So, because the intentionality isn't there, it ends up in the in-between. But some of them end up, okay, that's odd looking, that's odd looking. I think that's Dr. Melfi. I made a therapist, Dr. Melfi. This one's nice. The pose of her on the sofa is pretty good. And then I have to post a photo of the lizard every fucking day. 4 to 5 reels with the lizard. Little tiny apartment smells like lizard piss. Oh man, the drugs I have to inject into that lizard just to get it moving for the day. I pumped all my money into that fucking lizard. Piece of shit fucking lizard. I love this video so much, man. And so, yeah, even though what I was saying before, I think I identified the reason they look odd is because you have to think before. Sometimes it's just fun just to draw and not think about what you're doing beforehand, but like, I think if you're going for something, you have to choose whether you want to go, where you want to land on the spectrum of realistic to cartoony. Otherwise, it's going to be like a weird in-between maybe. And I maybe hit my stride here, even though it's like cut off and small. I think she does look nice here. The last time I drew her. It's actually not the last time I drew her. Spoiler alert, I draw her again here. I'm gonna fucking kill that lizard. She's so cute, man. I really like that video. And then I did like a detailed one of her. And at the time I did it, I was like, oh, she's weird looking. But now I think it's actually alright. Maybe she needs more of a forehead, or maybe her hair should start like here. So not perfect, but I've come around on this one. The nose looks good. Not perfect, but like noses are hard to draw, and I did it pretty decent that time. This was supposed to be her sitting at the drum kit, but I drew the drum kit like way too far in the foreground, so that's kind of funny. And then this is gonna sound ridiculous. This is legitimately one of the most impressive drawings I've ever done. This is Flag of Sweden 3D, based off of like a Minecraft image I saw of someone do it. I don't know, but I'm pretty proud of that. There was this like measuring involved and counting, and yeah, it was fucking. I was again like, it seems like a tangential detail that I was like staying awake until 6 in the morning. But when you think about the results, like I was obsessed with the pet lizard lady, and I was drawing Flag of Sweden 3D. Like, what the fuck is going on? And then I did this one for Jack's birthday. So we're in December now, I guess. For Jack's birthday, we watched Oliver, the musical, the old movie, because it's like one of his favorite films. And I watched it, and I really, really enjoyed it. I fucking love musicals, man. But there was this shot at the end of Fagin and the Artful Dodger, and I thought it was so cinematic and cool. And I tried to draw, and I spent ages on this. And I think maybe the proportions aren't super good, but like the characters themselves look fine. Sorry, I'm fucking dying over here. Yeah, I did try to go for some perspective. I don't know if it landed, but yeah, whatever. And then 3D apple. This is another situation where I'm going to try and explain everything, and the big fucking elephant in the room is the sexy lady in the middle. So drawing 3D practice, shading practice, but not really, because it's too like no shadow, very much shadow. There's no like fade in, I think it's supposed to be. And then I learned about the engraving technique, inking, and that's way too advanced. It's like, I should get back to that later. But I tried it, I gave it a go, and I don't know if it works. Does that give the illusion of depth at all? Or maybe, I don't know, fucking. A little witch character I drew without any reference is fine. This is just Nico Pokey again. Again, like, I think it looks alright. Maybe not. Maybe like her waist is, she's supposed to be turning around is the point. But maybe her waist is too thin and I'm not sure. But you always gotta draw hot ladies. If you like hot ladies, draw them, because then you'll want to do it justice, and that will push you to draw better. I swear that's true. And that's a goose saying there's a bomb in my car, which is funny because of the band. And that's Sophie Thatcher, and it's not a very good one, but it's fine. And that's getting killed by geese, which, again, funny joke. That's a little Nora Fawn, because you can never get too much Nora Fawn. We're nearly done now, I swear. I'm going for like an hour and a half, too long. Drew a bunch of cowboys. This one was done, well, this is me as a cowboy, actually. So this is like self-portrait, but cowboy. That one was done with a reference from Pinterest. These weren't, and that was me as an Animal Crossing character, which is something I lock into later on. We'll get to that. Oh, and I got this tablet for drawing on my computer, and I don't really, over Christmas I try it out a bit. I do a little bit and I do some animations. It's very difficult though. I need to get into it. Maybe I'll finish my sketchbook, so maybe I'll lock in on that. But yeah, I was just writing up the shortcuts to use. Oh, and this is so dumb. I love this one. What I'd wear as different teachers. Gym teacher. It's one of my favorite things I've ever drawn. I fucking love this gag so much. And then this is funny. I did draw on the computer a bit, and then when I came back to drawing on paper, I was like doing it the same way I would on the tablet. So it was all very like sketchy and weird. But then I drew CDI Link, and I got over myself. And then I drew CDI Zelda, and then I drew my fucking goat Gwendolyn. I fucking love this guy. Look at that. And I was kind of proud of it too, like the detail. Yeah, like that's detail. That's something. Okay, and then I think I took a break for a while, because this was like late December. I drew Laura Palmer, which she came down in a bubble, and this is just some cool fucking goth lady from Twitter or something. This is Hornet. I think at this point I had Silks on, but I just didn't play it really. I was locked in on drawing. Every time I'm home I don't do anything. I just like, I try and watch films, but mainly I just draw. Every time I go back I just draw all, which is good because I'm improving, I think. Look at that. That's Leah again, because I went to a party. I went to her 21st birthday, and she was dressed as Margot from The Menu. So that's Margot Menu right there. And then I still had a little bit of room on the page, and it was Christmas, so I just drew Santa. Ho ho ho, fuck you. Pulls out the Glock. I don't know. Get off my back. It's a weird mixed page, because there's like some really good stuff, some really bad stuff. I watched Silence of the Lambs for the first time, and I drew, I guess that's that's Silence, and that's of the Lambs. And he looks odd. He looks odd anyway, but like this isn't a good drawing, but that one I'm kind of proud of. And that's supposed to be Anya Taylor-Joy, but she looks Anya Taylor-Joy is fucking hard to draw. Again, I think I realized after I started doing it that I was supposed to make her eyes big and kind of far apart, but also make sense and make it look good. And I realized it was a big undertaking, so I went for cartoony, and then I did cartoony after I already did like the kind of like grounded face, and it was just a mess, you know. So you gotta commit one way or the other. And then this is from that Bjork animation that was going around, and I actually copied it how it looked in the animation, and her arms were really long and weird, so maybe that was like a stylistic thing from who made that. But yeah, and it looked odd to me, so I erased it. I couldn't get it to look right. And I was still reading Fire Punch, I guess, so that's Naruto, my go. I love Naruto. bit of Northern Line. You can never get too much Northern Line. And then this lady who was going around on TikTok page, she's still going, I think, but at the time she was just like on everyone's phones and shit. Yeah, me look, you know. And I think I did a good job with that. I really like the pose here, and yeah, she's cute. I like her. Okay, so now we're in the new year. The first, and for a while I was drawing every day. The first page I did a Marty Supreme, and then I gave it to my mum because she was like, "Oh, I'd love to have a page to put up somewhere," and I was like, "Bet." So I gave her one, and then she put it in like a cupboard. Maybe she's put it up, but maybe she's hung it up by now. I don't know, but she just kind of took it and put it away. So there was another one supposed to be here, but I don't know what happened. Maybe I'm just like hyping myself up too much, but New Year hit and I watched My Supreme and I was super inspired by it, and my art skills just fucking elevated because I started drawing Timmy and that, and I feel like massive level up every time I've gone for realism, every time I've drawn real people not stylized. It's looked a bit off, it's looked a bit weird. It still looks a little bit weird, but like proportions are decent, and the expression, he doesn't look completely soulless. Like, this isn't the best one ever, but I did some more. But the point is that I was in the zone, you know. I was drawing Maya Supreme all the time, and then more of the hot Latina lady. Me look, yeah, that's Maya Supreme. This one at the time I was just like, yeah, fuck it, and then I look back at it, I'm like, wow, the shading on the pants. And then that one's again back to the facing backwards, I should say. Fuck, I've lost my goddamn mind. In the facing backwards, it makes it look better. I don't know what that is, but it's just you don't really see it that much. Again, same lady, she's very cute. And then this isn't the first time I drew Marty as a mouse, because I did it on the page that I ripped out and gave to my mum. But in the same way, when I drew myself as an Animal Crossing the one time, I drew his name is Marty Mouser, so I drew him as a mouse. And then I just kept doing that. I was really into it. And so I would draw Marty as a mouse like every fucking day. And then, okay, Marty Supreme Christmas Day. Hardcore orange. These ones are pretty, I'm kind of proud of these ones. And then this was Rhea Seahorn from the obscure Magic the Gathering informational video that was in like 100 pixels. I don't fucking know. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, maybe. And then that's Rhea Seahorn realistic. And I think this might be the best drawing I've ever done so far. Because these are alright, and I'm into Mighty Supreme and everything, but there's like an angle to it, and lighting and the way I did the shading here I'm very proud of. And yeah, I think she looks really cool and nice, and I like it. And I did some of like the best drawings I'd done in ages and ages and ages, and I was like, I've still got room on the page. Biden blast! And I just kind of just not ruined the page, but just did something funny. And then, holy fuck, a building. When was the last time you saw me draw a building? But yeah, that's something I should do more of. But I like characters, that's kind of my focus. So this, I didn't do this, this was someone else, someone did on Twitter, like a drawing of a girl, and they did like negatives, I don't know if it's a negative space, but like the white, you know when you take a picture of someone and they're pale and like the flash is on and all their features like disappear apart from like the eyes. That's what it was going for. So it looks like I just like erased it, but that's what it's supposed to look like. And I copied them. So if I can find the original, then I'll throw it up. I was kind of proud of it. I don't know if it reads though. I don't know if to a stranger it would come across how it's supposed to. That's Angela from Smosh and Starkid and all that shit. Not super flattering because I really like Angela, so I kind of wish it looked better, but as far as proportions go, it's not bad, but bad posture and weird face. And then I had a little bit more room on the page, so I drew a sailor in a big green boat and a big green coat. What the fuck? Come on now. And Marty is a mouse. You want to get physical, like an ape? And then that's his reaction, and he's an ape. That's funny. Come on now. Come on. And then that's Marty. I drew Kay as a hedgehog. I thought that kind of fit a character a little bit. I don't know why, but that's him when he gets caught eating a pussy, and then he's got the necklace on, you know. And this is the problem I had, again, when you got to decide whether you want to go realistic or cartoony. Because I drew Odessa Ozion as a mouse the same way I drew Maya as a mouse. And Maya went really, really cartoony with it. Like, it doesn't even look like Timothy Chalamet in any way, right? And then I tried to make it look like her whilst also being a mouse. And it ended up looking like, was it Matt Damon in that episode of Arthur? And that's not the only time that happens. Do people still hit the Leafy is here pose? Just a dynamic pose. Cool thing I saw on like Twitter or something. Thought it was funny. And I think the hand could be a little bit better. I'm like such a harsh critic of myself because it does read. You can tell what it's supposed to be, and it's like it's an interesting pose and it's a good pose. The face looks fine, hand looks fine, but it could be better. It's okay. It's good. It's whatever. Could be. This is Scully. This is a little Gillian Anderson I drew, and this is a weird one. She does a kind of a unique face. She's very like pretty looking, but like she has the long nose, I guess. I'm not sure. I was just looking at the face. I feel like the eyes should be smaller and closer together, and there should be more forehead. But this is what the reference looked like. So I think maybe just make it clear that the forehead doesn't start there. The forehead starts further up, and the hair's just falling down. I think that's what it's supposed to look like. But with that being said, again, problems with it. I think it looks fine. I think she looks nice. Especially compared to like the Scullies I was drawing like at the start of this book, you know. I've gotten way, way, way better, and that feeling is fucking awesome. I drew a fucking cube without reference. I was like, fuck it, 3-dimensional shapes. And I like that one, pretty proud of it. It's a damn cube. Krogunk, sure. That's another one, okay. It's alright, it's not fantastic. And then one of Marty, and I do like this one, Marty Mouse, and he's doing his trick shots. And like the realistic Marty Mouse, the pen holder. And I think this one is funny. This one works better than the Odessa Zion one because it's like kind of intentional. He's got like human proportions, but it's still the mouse, and it looks very fucked up, but in a funny way instead of an odd way. And then this one's interesting because I was saying you want to avoid doing like man with hands by his side, and that's that, but it does look good. I think, I don't know, maybe I locked in on shading, and people were drawing this one. This is really someone drawing like the Metal Gear art style, and they did it. I did this one first actually, but I wasn't copying that. I was copying just the actual photo. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I didn't copy them. That was whatever. Napoleon writing his wife Josephine saying, "I will be home in 3 days, don't wash." Don't know why I really drew that one, but I just thought it was funny. George Costanza again. Been a while since we've seen a George, but you know, a few small beers. Spider-Man. I was drawing this, and I got like halfway through drawing him, and I was like, why don't I draw more Spider-Man? He's fun, he's great, we love him as a character. And then like I got to the webbing and I was like, oh, this is why I don't draw Spider-Man. This is a fucking ball ache. But he does look kind of nice. And then fucking Terrence Fletcher from, is that his name? Yeah, Fletcher from Whiplash. And he's like, he looks too happy, which is really disconcerting. Yeah, we looked at this one already. More Marty's, I was really into it. This one I got some compliments on. I think it does look good, but kind of off. Maybe it's the angle. I don't know, maybe his chin should be smaller. I'm not sure. It does look kind of nice though. And then this is Mighty Mouse when he's in his trick shots era. You know, going around these are frying pans. Pink Pantheress. I was watching the music video and liked it. And then this is another one of my pretty proud of this one. I think it looks good. I think the proportions are alright. Not like that one. I don't know what the proportions are in that one, but and then Mighty Mouse based off the one promotional image or behind the scenes image. I'm not sure, but yeah. And then this page is weird because it's like good and bad, but this is from Slushy News, but the Out of Character podcast, and I think as far as people sitting on a sofa goes, I think it reads and it looks good, but they don't look like Man and Hamza at all. So I'm kind of torn on that one, because I didn't copy what they're actually supposed to look like at all, but the poses are good, I think. The poses are fine. This one's Lucy Liu in Kill Bill where she's looking up, and I'm really proud of this one. I really like the angle I got. And Lucy Liu's a babe. And remember earlier, I tried to draw Lucy Liu and she looked very odd and she looked dead inside, and so it's nice that I could get a decent one. And Northern Lion doing this like weird squinting into the camera. And then I was drawing Mighty Mouse every day, so I actually watched Uncut Gems because I was so into My Supreme, and I drew all the protagonists. I drew Connie from Good Time, Adam Sandler from Howie from Uncut Gems, and Mighty Mouse, like all interacting together, and I had to come up with animals that they'd be, and Mai's a mouse, and Howie's a rat, and Connie is a weasel, and I think I managed to make, and his name is like Ratman or something, I don't know, but I think they all fit the characters really well, so even though I was thinking for a long time, I think I landed on something good in the end, because he is a fucking rat, and he is a fucking weasel. But yeah, I love those movies so much. And then I think this might be the last Mighty Mouse thing I drew, but this was based off, there was an interview with Josh Safdie where he talked about, like, I was gonna say headcanon, he wrote the movie, so I guess this is canon, but he said in his imagination he imagined Marty and Rachel as kids sneaking off from school to watch King Kong. So I guess I'll just read it. He goes, well, he's watching the movie, he's like, hey Rachel, what's your dream? And then before she has a chance to respond, he says, I have two. First, I'm going to be the world's greatest table tennis player. Second, I'm going to be rich. And she's like kind of enamored by his ambition and his drive and stuff. Yeah, Marty and Rachel 13 years before the movie. It's very cute and very nice. And I like imagining their friendship over the years and all that stuff. Because this is canon, I guess. If Josh Safdie says that was in his imagination and he made the movie, then I suppose, I mean, only what's in the movie is actually canon, but there's no reason not to believe this actually happened. And then I got some, well, before, sorry, I spaced out. Before Christmas, I got some pens for my birthday from all my housemates, which is very nice of them. And then I didn't use them until I got back into the house. And I drew this. I drew the Statue of Liberty, but my Supreme, of course. And I was really proud of that one. I like shaded it all and took a picture of it before doing the color because I thought I might ruin it. But I think I shaded it enough that you can make out the detail. And I'm kind of proud of that one. I think it's pretty good. Maybe the best thing I drew in all of January 2026. Who knows? Who knows? No, it's probably not because I drew like a bunch of really good mice, but that's fine. Then WhatsApp Invincible, of course. The strongest Invincible variant. It's fine. I'm nearly done now, I promise. I'm so tired. Pink Panthers, this one looks a bit odd, but the pose is fun, I guess. Just a My Supreme ball. I guess the hand is the most impressive thing there, but this lady, I wish I knew her name. I'm following her on Instagram, I think, but she's just a cool redhead goth. She's awesome. This is like Norman Reedus, I think. Old photo of him. Doesn't really look that good. I think I sketched it, and the sketch was better, and then when I went over it in Sharpie, it kind of ruined it, and it looks very flat. Maybe we should go over it again in pen. I can't be bothered, but oh, and then I watched Companion, and I was watching Yellow Jacket. Oh, this looks so bad. I'm sorry. I was watching I was watching Yellow Jackets and Companion, and I'm like way into Sophie Thatcher. She's like beautiful and talented and so cool, and I love her. And so I drew Iris from Companion, and then right here I labeled Whole Nightmare because it's like one of the worst things I drew in a while. I tried to draw Sophie, I tried to draw her mouth, and I failed like a bunch of times, and then it's just so bad and scary, and I wish I could do her justice because I want to draw her because she's so cool, but I can't make it good, you know. And then I watched a Nora, and I drew a Nora, and this one I'm kind of proud of. I think this one's pretty good. Yep, that is nice. Okay, a little backstory to this one. So me and Jack and Inez, my housemates, we watched Blackberry. And I'd seen Blackberry before, like 2-3 times. And I was showing them basically. And Inez loved it, which we thought like it'd be too boring or too like businessy for her, but it turns out she fucking loves business and stuff. So she loved it, and I drew this after watching it, kind of, you know, because of that inspiration. I was like, I drew Inez watching Blackberry and getting inspired, and you know, the reference here is like Deku being inspired by All Might. I thought it was a funny parallel to have her be inspired by like an evil businessman played by Glenn Howerton, and I'm kind of proud of this, not to go on about it too much, but the fact that I did use a reference, but only really for the pose, and you know, like, again, I didn't like nail the cartoony style, but did something interesting, and yeah. And then I did her with doing like money, and it's a euro because Inez is French, and then that's Inez as a scary business lady because that's what we talked about. she would kill it as a scary business lady. And then again, I added the office after I drew her, because everything looks better with the background, but maybe if I drew the background first it would look better. I'm not sure, whatever, it looks fine. And then I drew her doing the office space thing, you know, you got that memo? I haven't seen that movie, but you know, it's a classic reference. And then she really admired Glenn Howerton's character in Blackberry, and when she saw that he had a private jet, she was like, oh my god, he has a private jet. And so I drew her in the Blackberry jet, and that's me in the My Supreme blimp, and she's saying get out of here, and I'm saying dream big. So yeah, that one's fine. Oh, me as Google that. See, I don't really draw myself that often, but like some memories came up on Snapchat. I think, and I used to have this character called Google Dan, where I won't get too into it, but I would just unplug Lydia's laptop. That's my friend from way back in college. I used to unplug her keyboard so she couldn't do her work, and then I would take it to the cafeteria and like pretend to hack into the vending machine. I'm from Google. So that's me. That's what I looked like in college, and I had like the Windows blue screen of death in my eyes, I guess, because I'm like I'm Google Dan. I'm fucking Google Dan. That's me hacking. I referenced one of Critical Role's NordVPN ads because they have like funny hacking bits. I can imagine anything. That's pretty good. That's me hacking into the vending machine. Duh. Okay, this page I'm pretty proud of. Started off with girl who only works out legs and is now built like Mewtwo, which I saw on like Twitter or Instagram. I was just obsessed with. I thought that was so good. It's like so likable and endearing, the idea that girls only work out legs and then become shaped like Mewtwo. If you're built like that, hit me up, please. And then Ella Purnell and Sophie Thatcher, and that one's alright. That's pretty nice looking. And then I think this is supposed to be Jenna Coleman. That one's not very good, but at least like the hand looks good, so you know. And then Anya Taylor-Joy with her cool fucking sig. I think that one looks good. I like the pose. I don't know if the coat reads like it's supposed to be like a high collar, but that's what the reference looked like, so that's what I did. And then that's Inez. That's a pretty good one of Inez. I think I'm striking the balance between stylized and realistic pretty good there, so I'm proud of myself for that one. I did this whole page, and then I went into the kitchen with it to show Inez, and there was a little bit of room left, so I copied Jack's cool sports magazine, I guess, for this like snowboarding one. And then okay. And then, oh yeah, I was watching Yellow Jackets and I was obsessed with Sophie Thatcher. And I started off by drawing this one, which I was very proud. It's only little, but I was very proud of it because, like, I was going off of just an actual reference photo, like live action, and I managed to make this, like, really cartoony, like, cute thing. And I think that's very, very nice and endearing, and I like it. And then there's this one of her in a classic red bra. You just have to imagine it's red. Looks fine. Maybe her head's a bit too small, but I always think the head's small. That's Misty, and I drew her nose fucked up. I didn't have to do it like that. I'm sorry, Misty. And then I did this really good one. I'm very proud of this one. It looks kind of odd when you look at, she looks like she's just like a rectangle, but if you don't think about that, just look at the hands and the face and the angle. Very proud of that one. This one I just did to fill space. Didn't have a reference, just like imagine her cannibalizing people. There's nothing really to indicate that she's licking her fingers because she's eating people, but it's like a fun headcanon. This one was like supposed to be realistic based off of that one frame in the intro. It doesn't look super good. And I don't know what I could do to make it better even, but it just doesn't look great. Then this one's fine, but her head actually is definitely too small in this one, I think. This is just a stupid one of like older Natalie and Misty, and she looks weird and her eyes are really far apart. And then I did another one of Misty, and this one's like really cute. I like this one a lot because Misty became one of my favorite characters in like season 2 when she has that like weird Twin Peaks dream bit. Yeah, that's very good. And then okay, so this was whilst I was in the kitchen, I showed Inez like the drawing I did of her. I just hung around and kept drawing in the kitchen on the counter. I drew some Balatro Jokers, and I love Balatro, and I'd never really drawn anything from it before, despite Balatro fan art being very popular. I've got fucking pencil. I've got pencil all over me now. So I drew Throwback because that's one of my personal favorite Jokers. Blueprint, Classic, Brainstorm, Shout Out Green Needle, and Banana, and then and then I drew some Balatro Yori, which is nice. This is not original. This is an idea in the fandom because in the game Blueprint copies the ability of whatever's to the right of it, so people depict that as them just necking on, I guess, and that's really funny to me. So, and it gets like even more like specific and weird and niche, but so yeah, so the idea is she's kissing her. They're both women. They're Jokers in the game, but they're depicted as women. And then there's another Joker called Obelisk, which I depicted here. And there's nothing to indicate it, but I thought it was really funny that Obelisk was being cooked by Mime here. And the text would be like, "Sorry, Obelisk, this is the real world. Mime gets the girl." And I actually, instead of drawing Obelisk how it looks in the game, I wrote, Hate, let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live," which is a neat fucking reference. And then, okay, I got all the way to like nearly the end of the book, and I realized I'd barely drawn any fat people, right? And like in the interest of practice, because all I've drawn is people really, and I've barely drawn any large people. So in the interest of like getting better and drawing different types of people, I did a little study and I drew some larger people, and I made a Pinterest folder called Large Women, and I was actually pretty happy with the results because she's awesome. She's sick as fuck, and I really like how I did the detail, and she turned out great. This one I don't like as much, but I think the proportions are still fine. And then she's cool. I like this one because feel like I struck the balance, but again, I'm talking about cartoony and whatever, and make just something that looks nice. That's nice to look at, and I like the pose. That one's fine. This one, she looks like she's not wearing any trousers because I didn't shade it. She is wearing trousers, she's supposed. And then this one is just like the gut and thighs, I guess. And then that one looks really nice, I think. I don't know, it's okay. And then, we did that one of Spencer and Amanda. Because it was going around Twitter, it was funny. This is that awesome Spanish clown girl. I don't know her name, but she's very, very cool. I like her a lot. And then that's her again, and she takes these like pics at conventions and stuff, and she just does these perfect reference images, like that one of her lying down. This one, I was very proud of the angle on that one. I don't know if it conveys the angle or whatever, but I think it is. You can tell they're like bent over at least. Cool lady doing like a mirror selfie again. Just have your back towards us. It looks better sometimes. And then this is like a girl like scrunching her face up. I don't think it's how I should practice that more, like creases in the face and how that does expressions, and maybe I should do a study about it. I don't know. It doesn't really convey what I want it to. I think she just looks old. It looks more like wrinkles than creases, but but she's still cute. And that's another one of Giolina did. And this one isn't super good because in the reference photo, she's like really cute and she has this like very distinct expression, and I just kind of made her expressionless. But I think the proportions are good and her face looks nice. So you gotta look at what's good and bad, you know. And then I'd say more cute girls. This one's some cute girl from Twitter. That's like kind of a horny one, but like it's a good one. It's a good pose. It's good practice. That's a Joan of Arc. That one just, I can't excuse that one is horny, but that girl, cool face. I did this one just kind of to fill space, but I think it's one of the better ones on the page actually. That's Katya. I was drawing it, and this sucks actually because I was making sure to get the proportions right, and it was such a cool pose. It was very dynamic. I wanted to get that right as well. And I was doing really well. I was doing the hair and everything. And then it got to the shading part. I was like doing the details and all that. And I think I just overcooked it maybe. Maybe like you can't really see the hand as well as you should. And other things are maybe lost because I shaded in too much. I don't know how I would have done that better, aside from just doing like a light touch maybe. But I don't know. I think sometimes you think the more detail you add, the better it'll be. But I think something was lost in the sauce when I overdid that one maybe. And this is just like a little character I did to full space. I don't know. There's no reference, and it looks like a Nez. It's not supposed to be a Nez. It's just a little guy. Yeah. Okay, we're getting very, very near the end now. Is that right? Did I skip some? I think it is right. Anyway, another cute girl. I really like that one. That one was just like warming up, and it turned out really good. I like that. This one of Bruce Campbell. I think he looks odd, and it's supposed to be like creases in his face, but they just look like wrinkles. So I should practice that. But I was kind of back to my roots, you know, when back in the summer of 2025 when I was just doing like cool and interesting poses and characters. This is very much like the kind of thing I would have done back then. And this one I'm very proud of. This Emma Myers. With the perspective. I think I got the perspective right. I'm not sure. Let me know if it could be better if you know, but yeah, I know I tried to copy the reference as good as I could, and I think it looks nice. And I like that the face is good. The face is like nicely detailed whilst also committing to the looking up kind of thing. And then this is, I guess, a bit of 2-point perspective. It looks nice. It's a building. That's something. I drew something that wasn't a woman, you know. And then this is an awesome lady, and she's so cool. I'm really proud of this one. I just think she's nice to look at. This Misty one, is fucked up because I started doing the eyes and it started going well. Then I did the nose and it was all right. And I fucking smudged the page. Jesus. But then I wanted to make a face round, and I made it like maybe stop 2/3 of the way, like it's supposed to go further down. And I deliberately wanted to make a face round, but it's like way too round, and it would have been fine, but I made her eyes so detailed that it just looked kind of odd and weird. So that could be better. But anyway, I played a bit of Shantae and I drew Shantae. That's fine. That's another Misty. That one looks a bit better. This one, really little. Again, just to fill the space, but that one of Natalie, Sophie Thatcher, I really like that one. And the expression. That's a little Ella Pennell, kind of weird. These ones just... I think my Wi-Fi cut off and I was just drawing without reference. I was trying to get the... I was trying to get the vibe of the character more so than anything else. So I just drew her looking grumpy and her looking happy. Which I guess isn't incorrect, but maybe oversimplifying. And then drew another Natalie and another Natalie and another Natalie, each one getting a little less detailed. God, I'm smudging everything. And this brings us to the last page. Very anticlimactic, but I wanted to draw Emily because she originally gave me the sketchbook, and I managed to finish it on her birthday. It's weird how it all lined up, so I wanted to just like do a little drawing of her, and I really tried. And you know what else? Every single thing I've drawn I've drawn like multiple things on each page. So I thought last one I'm just gonna draw one thing, and it's gonna be Emily for her birthday, you know. And I fucked it up, and I fucked up the eyes, and then I erased it, and then I tried to draw them again, and I fucked it up, and I was so demoralized because it was like all perfect. It was so serendipitous that it wound up on her birthday. And then I just drew some like sunglasses on her, not even with reference, so not even the sunglasses are like correctly proportioned, and they don't even look like sunglasses, but it's fine. It's like, it's okay, it's mid. But I wish it was better, you know. I wish it was like, again, it always comes back to, I want to get good. I want to get to the level where I can do justice to these things that I admire. I want to be able to draw them, and for those drawings to be able to match like how I perceive them, you know. And sometimes I'm able to do that, but I've never been able to do that for Emily, which is a shame. One day I will, maybe. But there you go. Finished the damn sketchbook she gave me. I feel like I ended it on kind of a downer. I was supposed to get to a point and then I threw myself off. The point is about I want to be able to do justice to all these things, you know. These things that I want to be able to draw them and draw them in a way that I'm proud of and like depict them how they're supposed to be in my mind, you know. And I can't do that yet, but it's demoralizing, but it doesn't make me want to stop. It makes me want to keep going because I'm a winner. Well, you think this makes me want you think this makes me want to lose? It makes me want to win. Come on. Okay, we're still going. Fucking hell. That was my sketchbook. I just talked and yapped for 2 hours. I didn't think it was gonna be that long. If you liked it, fuck me. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell if you don't want to miss new uploads. Tell your dad you're a lesbian if